In this video, I'll be sharing with you the strategies I use to sell my pigs on the farm almost all the time. And I'm making this video because I received a call or I had an encounter with a particular farmer that made me very sad. His situation, I believe it wasn't entirely his fault because he jumped into pig farming not knowing about how to sell the product and ended up producing more than he can supply. So he had over 80 pigs that were ready for market but had nobody to take them to. So he was even looking for someone to just gift these animals to, but nobody was even showing interest in them. To the extent of he losing the zeal and the energy and decided to starve these animals to death. When I go to see these animals, I was very, very sad that he started starving them a week ago. Okay, and it's all due to marketing. The animals were good, looking good, healthy, but since he didn't have the customers to supply to and nobody to also take them from the farm for him, he decided to just give up on this pig farming and then allow the animals to just stay there. He was not cleaning the rooms again and was not feeding these animals. I believe you know the feelings after losing interest in what you're doing. Those who are starting small, this strategy will work for you better. So this is the first one I do. So the first one is to practice pork sharing. So the pork sharing is more or less like you get people who are interested in pork but can't afford the pigs. In my situation, the area I am located, I have people who want to really need pork every day in their life, but they can't afford these pigs. So with these people, and what I do with them is I ensure that I get about 10 people at a time, and then look at a particular sizable pig that will be suitable for this number of people, and then I have them all contribute the amount to ensure that it is able to pay for the pig before I call them all to the farm, and then they come to slaughter and share it and go. So that's what they do. So with this, if you intend to sell like 8 pigs, let's say 8 pigs a month, so it means every week you can slaughter 2 and distribute to these people. And initially you have to put in the work before you get these people to get to know your farm. It will also work if you are in an area where a very large area, yes, a very large area of that nature, such that you have a lot of pork consumers also available. With that, you can even slaughter more than the 8 a week I'm talking about, 8 a month I'm talking about here. Okay, but due to my location, for instance, so I'll make sure I control my production to ensure that if I want to be selling every week or every month, I know the number of pigs to supply so that I don't saturate the market. That is also one of the ways I use to also create a bit of scarcity in these pigs, such that people don't always get their pigs, because if you miss this one, you have to wait for a number of times before you can get it again. So people, this kind of missing out is in the people. So anytime I expose it that way, you see them come in within a short time, all their monies have been paid, and then they slaughter the animals on the farm. And the next one I also use is I give commission to people who get me good sales. So we sell the pigs in Ghana here for like 30 cedis per kilograms, but you can give. I decided to give commission to the one who brings me these deals by taking 1 cedi or 2 cedi off, and then giving that one to the referrer. You get it? So this is how I do it. If the pig weighs 100 kg and I'm taking 29 cedis per kg, so I just take that one and make sure I also give the 1 cedi per kg. I give it back to the referrer. Okay, so with this, you see that the people themselves try to be your ambassadors and they go around finding buyers for you because they expect to also get their returns after successful sales. So that is also one of the things I do with my people. And the next one is also that I offer flexible payment options. This one you might say it sounds crazy, but what I do with this flexible payment option, and this is how I do it. I know my people well. I know them very well. People want meat, but not all of them can afford to pay immediately. With this, you can accommodate them by giving it to them and then expecting them to pay in a particular time frame. What I do, and I think it's very crazy on my part, is also that if you want the pork and you can't afford to pay, but you want to work for this pork, there are people who do this daily the wages work, so I can get you some sort of work, or you go to work for somebody on a crop farm, and then for the person to pay that wages, you take it and then you bring him a share of the money to pay for the pork you took from me. So if you don't have the money but you have the strength to put into working on other farms, I make sure you go to work there, and I might go there to collect the money myself, or you go there, get the money, bring it to me, and you have your pork already taken. So that's also one of the flexible payment terms. You don't have to be rigid. If the person said, okay, I'll give you this amount, but later I'll add this, you have to look at it and accept it in some way, and also ensure that the person is very credible when you're looking at the person that way, and not somebody giving it to somebody who run away and then disappear into thin air. That's also one of the things that I used to do on my farm and not have to stress myself to get these buyers. And the next option also I use almost all the time is also about finding these local partners or the reps. There are people, especially those in the nearby communities around me. They have pork consumers over there. So with those people, what they do is I find reps within the communities. So I go to the community and ensure that I find that one person who will be able to mobilize his people, especially the pork consumers, and then they will contribute all their finances or put their money together and come to me, and I give them the pick to take it there. And with the local reps also, this is what I do. There are people who are also meat enthusiasts. So while I was there doing the business, I realized that these meat enthusiasts and these pork consumers, most of them, like in the communities, they go to nearby, they go to distant towns. That was when my operation was still not moving well for me. They go to distant towns to buy these pigs and go and slaughter and sell it to their people there. So I decided to cut this one by supplying mine to them rather. This is how I do it. With me supplying the pigs to them, I give you a particular pig, take it to your people, slaughter, but I expect this gain from the pig. So once you are done with the selling, bring me my money back. So in a situation where the pork or the pig is bigger and bigger for the above the capacity of one person to sell, for me to get my money quickly, I make sure I get people from other communities. They all come, and then I have this pork pig slaughtered, and we divide them into say cuts. We cut them into pieces such that if this person is taking maybe 70 kilos, this one is taking 20 kilos. So in that case, I spread the risk so that if you go to supply to your, sell to your people, I expect you to bring the amount for 70 kilos or 20 kilos you got, so you bring the money back to me. And one thing is, these people also go to sell. It's a way to also create kind of employment and source of income for them. They also go to sell, they put some margins on it. Whilst I'll be taking somewhere like 40 cedis per kilo, they are going to sell for like 42. So they keep the two cedis each. And this is a way that is also helping them, make them appreciate the work. And always they try to sell faster before they even come back to get it from me. And in the process, what happens is I get shortage of pigs that I don't have to sell again. Sometimes I do pause the production by myself, because if I intend to be supplying by 3 to 4 months, I should be out of business completely. So I used to pause it to create. This also creates agency whenever there's a need for them to get pork. It creates some sort of agency in their life. You see them rushing to come and buy these animals. So basically, these are the strategies I use to sell, but there are others I can also expand with you, especially if you are located in a very lit environment with electricity. You are connected in every aspect of this society. So with all this I've said, I've included a link to download a PDF that will help you with all what I've said here with practical examples. I've included more than just this. So you can just check it in the description. Go there, get this PDF, but it's not free. You can check it out, very affordable for you. All right, so let's continue. You have the light and everything. You can also have your own store, pork farm store, where you slaughter, you have this pork cut into pieces, and then you store them in the fridge. With this, anytime people want to buy pork, they can come to you straightforward. And with that, you don't have to confuse your customers by selling, because you are selling pork, you want to add fish to it, you want to add chicken, like a form of cold store. But this is a cold store for purely pork product. So you're selling only pork. That's niche marketing. Anytime somebody wants to get a pork, it is your name they remember, they run to your location to get them. Okay, so you can get a farm store also for your product. And the next one is also to control your cost of production. You know, you can be doing very, very well in every aspect of it, but if your pricing is too high, such that it's above the paying capacity of your target customers, you will not still get them to pay you for it. So make sure you control your production by learning some basic vaccination method and be able to treat your animals yourself and not to pay for every services. With this, you take that part of the cost out of your production, and also search for local raw materials so that you use them to also incorporate into your pig feed. But don't compromise quality. Okay, you have to also do this to be able to stand out for the price conscious consumers. Ghana here, especially in the local and the rural areas, people are very, very conscious with the pricing. So if you don't make your pricing very, very enticing and competitive enough, they can't afford it. Not that they don't want to, but they can't afford it. So they just give up completely and not even do any business with you. But if you want to help these people, make sure you control your production, bring your costs down, and make your product very, very affordable to your people. In getting these raw materials for myself, for instance, anytime brewers are done with their spent grains, they call me. We have this available. Do you need it? Can we bring it to you? I say, yeah, bring it to me. Sometimes I even make them dry them, and I go to collect them from these people. Okay, so just expose yourself out there. People get to know. And the next one you can also do is, especially if you're coming to this pig farming thing and you want to make it like a big thing on your part, you want to make it a big game for you. That one, if let me say you want to be produce more than like 300, 500 pigs. In that case, what you are supposed to do is you have to initially expose yourself out there, open your brand, let people get to know that this is what is happening. You have started a pig farm and you are selling pork products. You do slaughtering and selling of pork. Okay, but for people to get to know this, you have to do something that is very, very crazy or different in the area by kind of launching your pig farm project. If maybe it is a giveaway, you can do it and then link it to your pig farming project you're doing. So the people get to know your brand and know that this is what is happening and this business really exists in our community. You can also organize something like a cooking competition involving pork products, recipe tips, where people come in and they use, people come there and combine some sort of ingredients to make some delicacies. And then you pick the best one and reward such people with your product. Okay, so it is also a way to go about it if you want to start like you are doing very big. I'm not doing it that big, so I don't really do this one on my part. But what I do is I'm known in the area as a pig farmer, like doing pig farming. So anytime somebody wants pig or pork, they just refer them to me that go to this house or go to this place. There's a guy there by name this. He's into this business, so he will supply you, he will serve you better. Go to him. So that's what I have done. But if you want to do yours very, very great, that's what I'm saying. Just expose yourself. Be sure to organize something that will have the people talking about your product. Okay. For especially if you have come big, like a very big commercial farm, you want to just be supplying, producing pork. And again, you can also offer farm tour services. It's not, because of biosecurity and the disease outbreak issues, many farms fear, even farmers, not farms, many farmers fear to accept visitors, even to allow visitors close to their farm. But sometimes this can be very bad on your part. If you do that, you end up sacking most of your potential customers. Imagine somebody coming to just ask you some one or two questions on the farm, or just coming to see how you do go about your production, and you are kind of like you don't accept visitors on your farm. You give a whole lot of reasons why you don't accept. You see, you end up sacking the person. They might not even believe in what you're doing because why would they will think that you might be hiding something that they don't know. Okay, so you can also accept these people, but make sure you guide them. There are some places they can't have access to, especially where they are piglets or younger pigs. These pigs are very vulnerable to diseases and pregnant pigs. So they are not supposed to go close to them or they are not supposed to touch them. So you guide them by implementing some biosecurity measures that you firmly believe will help you save your animals. And in the process, so if the person comes to buy like wants a pig for pork, like they're going to slaughter them for pork, with those people you can just explain to them, especially when they are not accepting your pricing. You can explain to them, have time and then explain to them, take them through what you feed to your pigs, and that is making them look the way they see them on the farm. You said they'll come to accept your terms and then you go with it. But if you're also intending to sell to potential pig farmers, there are sometimes people want to start this project, but they are reluctant. They develop this cold feet. So for you, you have to give them a little push for them to come to buy. And one thing you can also do is if the person wants pigs to go and breed or start the farm himself, but it's not willing, or you cannot see the person has 100% come to accept that he wants to do pig farming. With those people, what you can do to them is that whilst you are taking them through the farm education, you emphasize more on the profitability of this venture. Let them know how much they stand to earn if they take it very serious and put in the work. In this world, everybody wants money. So once you are telling them the amount they can get, you see that they will start to rush things and then to get the piece from you. But in my situation, I gave it to a lot of people in the area very, very cheaply to start pig farming. But one thing is they all gave up because of the workload involved. They gave up. Okay, and now they have become my loyal fans and loyal customers who come to buy for pork always on the farm. And then the next one you can also do, especially if you have become very, very successful in the area of pig farming and you have conquered a larger share of the market that you are comfortable with, you can also decide to contribute to a cause in the area you are located. If maybe there are less privileged people or people like poor people cannot afford this meat, you can from time to time supply them, like put them on your list that anytime there's a slaughter, you give this amount of this quantity of pork to this group of people. And maybe if there are children also who need some basic things like pens, books, you can just supply it to them so that they can also use to further the education. And sometimes if the area is too boring, you can also try to organize some talk or cleanup exercises in the area just to bring the community or the people you are serving together. to help them work on your farm. And even sharing some small things like even your company t-shirts. After they have participated in a course, you give them company t-shirt, they wear it, they look proud to be in it. So these are all things that as you're going with this your people farming thing, and I know you definitely get there. Once you have started, you definitely become a commercial farmer, and you should look into it very, very well. It's very critical. It will help you to stand out in your industry. Spend to expand yourself. Okay, and above all, you have to also offer great deal of customer experience. Let your customer experience be very, very unique. If people come to your farm, let them remember the farm wherever they are. And you can do this by listening to their concerns. If they ever bought from you and they have come to give you feedback on what they expect from you, listen to them. Don't just rush to conclude things. Let them finish talking and then look at what you can do. If you can address it immediately, if it is a mistake on your part, you are just apologize and you ensure that the next time you don't do that for them. There are people who want lean meat, like I always say, but they come to you, give them the 41, so they don't like it away. Some will come, some will not come again. So those who come back, ensure that you listen to their complaints and you produce according to what they want. One mistake also most of us also make in this business is we don't keep contact details of people that buy from us, and that is the main reason why you always have one-time buyers on your farm. I come to buy pick from you. I left. No contact for months, 2 months. You are not reaching out to me. And you're not also seeing me and you are not bothered as a business owner. So these people, you have already lost somebody like that. But if you do follow up by having these people, their phone numbers or even email addresses, you send them some text from time to time or even pictures time just to keep your business in their mind fresh. Okay, you can just do something like that. But so if people come to buy from you, don't have their contact details, it's very, very wrong. And you know it is more expensive to get a new customer than to keep the old one. So once somebody has found his way into your farm or your line of business, try to keep that person and make sure you are able to turn this person into an ambassador, and the person might become your business partner or even a rep who stands the chance to earn commissions for referring people to your farm. Okay, so you can have these people's number and don't just let them buy and go like that. Keep them. I have included a link to download the PDF on exactly what I'm telling you today. It's just in the description. You can check in the description, download it, and always go through it.